Good morning, everyone. We are the presenter for this week. We are going to report about the topic of theories of motivation. First, I give a brief meaning of motivation. Motivation is an internal state or condition that sometimes described as our needs, wants, desires that serves to activate or energize behavior and give it direction. The first theory that I've discussed is the drive theory by Clark Hall. Who is Clark Hall? He is American psychologist behaviorist. Drive theory. It is a condition of arousal on tension that motivates behavior. These drives most typically been considered to involve the physiological survival needs like hunger, sleep, pain, sex, and a drive results from the activation of need. Need is a physiological deficiency that creates condition of disequilibrium in the body. Need, drive, activity, goal, reduce drive. Need is a physiological imbalances. It is for us to survive on our day-to-day living, like for example, eating foods and drinking water. Drive, which is states of tension that help us to motivate ourselves for us to have a self-confidence. Activity is what you need to finish and need to apply also in ourselves to gain more information, for us to become knowledgeable. Goal, which is the commodity which reduce drive, are the things that are needed to achieve in order to have a better way of living. Reduce drive, which belongs to seek our needs. For example, suppose someone hasn't eaten since breakfast and seems to be hungry. If he or she eat foods, the negative feeling of hunger will be gone. If they're thirsty, they must drink to refill their thirst. When it comes to simple matters such as hunger, the drive reduction theory is effective. We have also the two types of drives. The first drives is primary drives and the second type is the secondary drives. Primary drives, it is something that our bodies require such as food, water, sex, or going to the bathroom. Like for example, if we feel hungry, we eat foods, and if we feel thirsty, we drink water. Next is secondary drives. It is about something we want because it is associated with the primary drives. Earning money, for example, it is a secondary motivation because money allows to buy foods, water, and other necessities. For example, we try to maintain a balance between the food we eat and the energy we expend throughout the day. According to the drive reduction theory, all motivation is geared toward reducing arousal, but sometimes people want to increase their arousal levels. For example, those who are addicted to coffee and drink it every morning to increase their arousal, which allows them to be more alert. As we can see the drive reduction theory by Clark L. Hall, there is homeostasis. The lack of homeostasis needs drives in the motivation to act, and there is a connection to each other and also a process. Homeostasis is help our body to maintain a stable internal environmental. With the lack of homeostasis, it will increases the risk of illness and is the cause of physical changes associated with aging. So we must give importance on our need for a healthy body because it is very vital that to be part of our drives, which helps us also to have a motivation to act a various way for our needs. So the next theory that we've discussed is about the need hierarchy theory by Abraham Maslow. The need hierarchy theory is the most widely discussed in the theories of motivation. It is also a psychological theory with 5 stages that motivates behavior. After studying what he called exemplary papers such as Albert Einstein's, Abraham Maslow proposed this theory in 1943. The theory can be summarized as follows. Human beings have wants and desires which influence their behavior. Only unsatisfied needs can influence behavior, satisfied needs cannot. For example, when you and your mother are going to the mall, you can see a beautiful dress, so you decide to tell to your mother that you want that dress. But your mother said she can't afford the dress because it is so expensive. Then you feel so ashamed in front of the people, so you walk out. Because needs are many, they are arranged importance from basic to complex. The person advances to the next level only after the lower level need is at least minimally satisfied. For example, you've got a score 19/20 in your quiz. The further the progress up the hierarchy, the more holistic and humane a person is. The needs listed from basic to most complex are physiological, safety and security, social, self-esteem, and self-actualization. The physiological is the need for air, water, food, and for the health. The safety is the need for safety, shelter, and stability. The social is the need for love, belongings, and inclusion. The self-esteem is the need for self-confidence, power, control, and recognition. The self-actualization is the need for development, creativity, and the growth. First is physiological. There are physiological needs such as the need to breathe, eat, drink, and sleep. When we are awake and doing things that help us get motivated for the next day, we can feel relaxed. For example, when we wake up in the morning, we exercise regularly to feel relaxed. Next is safety and security. We work hard to earn money for our daily needs. Makes our shelter secure in order for us to be competent in the face of danger. Once when we are confident that we are safe, we have time to consider what we want to do next. Next is social. We seek love and sense of belonging. We choose to be close to our family, friends, and neighbors, and to be part of our society. That in the moment that we are completely ourselves, we already choose and wish to be little different from the rest. Next is self-esteem. Have self-confidence and respect for others so that they will respect you in return. If you have self-confidence, you can be part of the developing country by being collaborative member of our society and achieving our goals and dreams. Become more professional individual. And the top is self-actualization. If we take enough deep breaths, eat enough, and sleep enough, and we feel safe and capable of being part of a society that makes us feel special, then we can achieve a state of self-actualization. We can now unwind, be creative, be more productive, and do whatever we want. Unless and until there is a problem, there will be no more pressure. The next theory is the need achievement theory by David McClelland. Who is David McClelland? He is the one who introduced this theory in 1960s. It is also based on Maslow's hierarchy needs. A person has need for three things, but people differ in degree in which the various needs influence their behavior. These are the main three needs: need for achievement, need for power, and need for affiliation. Need for achievement. It is the desire to do better, solve problems, or master complex problems. The individuals who possess this need have the following characteristics. They are challenging. For example, giving them a realistic projects. They like working alone or with other achievers. For them to achieve high grades or high quality, they must be grouped with other achievers for best performance. They are self-motivated and they like feedback to assess their progress. So for example, you give them a money to be main motivator to them, but they don't do this a main motivator because they all want is a feedback, appreciation, and recognition, which is more vital to them. These individuals will perform better if money is linked with their achievements. So for example, in a competition, there's award which is money so that they will make their performance better for the award that they receive.